Hi, John and company. My name is Janine Eggers, and I have been widowed for almost 8.5 years. My husband died the week before Christmas in December of 2007, suddenly, from an aortic dissection. He died in surgery, and my life and the life of my children changed forever at that point. I have 6 children, and 3 girls were in college, and one was out of college. And then our 3 sons were aged 13, 15, and 17 when this happened. And the following years were beyond challenging for me, with especially the 13 and the 15-year-old. There was a lot of anger in those 2 young hearts, and they took that anger out on me as the safest place to do that. And so the nicest way I can put it is it was very challenging. I mean, I have dealt with jail with one of them, a military school, threatened suicide, drugs, alcohol, you name it. I think we've been through it. And now my youngest is a junior in college, and the next one, the middle one, who is a barber and very happy living in Austin, Texas. So we have pretty much made it through that point, but it was very, very tough. And it's tough to go through teenagehood anyway as a parent, but it's especially tough to do it on your own, not having another person who has your back and who says that you're doing okay. So I question a lot of things that I did. Would like to do some of them over if I could, but I can't. So anyway, like I said, we have pretty much made it through that part. One thing that was interesting is that probably a week before my husband died, my middle son and my middle son was always the most challenging child of the 6. He had an argument with my husband and ended up yelling at him and telling him he was the worst father in the world and that he hated him, and stormed out of the room. And that was probably the last big conversation they had, and then my husband died. So that son has had a lot of issues to deal with. Fortunately, before my husband went into surgery, he had several hours in the hospital where people could come in and talk to him, and we had no idea that he was going to die. None. I was really blindsided by it. But yet, the 6 kids came in before the surgery because it was a heart surgery, and we knew it was serious. And he was able to tell all of them, but especially that middle child, that he was proud of them. He didn't hold anything against him. He told him that he loved him very much, forgave him, and so that was a huge blessing. I'm not sure that son really took that in and believed it, and I think he still deals with that some today. I hope that he believes it, but anyway, so having 6 kids and being widowed, it probably hurt some of my relationships with my children, but it also strengthened them too. I think that all 6 of them are closer to each other, I hope, and closer to me. Maybe closer than they would have been had Jim not died. I'm not sure. I am a Christian, and Jim was a Christian. We raised our children in the church, and so I have never really dealt with the issue of a psychic or having my future read, my cards read, or anything like that, because it's in the Bible. God says in the Old Testament you shouldn't have anything to do with that. Never had a reason to want to do that. And I had people ask me after Jim died if I would be interested in doing that, and I never did, not for the first 5 years or so. And then in the last couple of years, I've been thinking more about it as I see more things on TV and hear friends who've done it, and what wonderful stories they have to tell about it. And so I still have mixed feelings about it, but I'm certainly more open to it than I was when he died. And so that's a conflict that I keep going back and forth with too. But there are a lot of things that I think I believe because of my faith that I thought were black and white issues that since Jim died, I have changed my mind on, and have found that most things that really aren't that black and white. There's a lot of gray in this world, and there are a lot of battles that are not worth fighting anymore. So life is short, and love is what counts. I'd love to be thought of for doing the show. I think it would be very interesting and amazing. I do a lot of work with widowed people with Soaring Spirits, and I think that the story needs to be out there that there are a lot of young widows, and most people don't know any. When it happens to you, you don't know any. And you think of a widow as an old woman sitting in a rocking chair dressed in black, but not wearing black and not sitting in a rocking chair. So I've had a huge life change in the last few years, and now I'm living in New York and having a blast. I still miss my husband very much and wish that things could be different, but they're not. So this is what I have and how I'm living with it. Thank you very much for considering me, and let me know if you have any questions about anything, or I can tell you anything else. Thanks so much.